Generation 2, if Stomp hits a Pokemon that has previously used Minimize, it will now have its power doubled. Generation 3, if Stomp hits a Pokemon that had previously used Minimize, the damage dealt will be doubled instead of its power, resulting in virtually the same effect. Generation 4, if Stomp hits a Pokemon that had previously used Minimize, its power will be doubled instead of the damage dealt, resulting in virtually the same effect. Generation 5, if Stomp hits a Pokemon that had previously used Minimize, the damage dealt will be doubled instead of its power, resulting in virtually the same effect. They changed it multiple times.
Hi guys! Did you miss us?
Hello.
Hey, welcome back to Elite Full Restore. I'm Aury.
And I'm Matt.
We're first of all, we're really sorry. We didn't realize that it was going to be a literal month between recording. I got very sick, and then an orange man got elected into office. So it's been a great past 5 weeks, but we're going to try and cheer you up a little bit.
Yeah, we got some goofy questions lined up, and of course, as of recording, it is less than 1 week until the new Pokemon games will be in our hands. And,
turn down for what? No.
Yeah, so we're all super excited, as you might guess. Given this is a Pokemon podcast that is
it?
Rapidly approaching actually having a reasonable number of episodes.
Reasonable? Okay, yeah. Yeah. So we got some info for you. We're not gonna go over the full stuff that came out, but we're gonna talk about our favorite stuff, and
yeah.
we're excited to share it with you.
Well, yeah. Up first, in full disclosure, the entire game is out there. Someone broke Street Date, and the ROM was dumped, and everything is being ripped apart. And this episode will discuss some things that have been mentioned in that data dump.
So if you don't want it spoiled, don't. You can just turn us off now, and we'll see you next week. We won't be offended or anything.
Yeah, we're not going to talk really about any of the Pokemon or Ultra Beasts that have been revealed, but we are going to talk about metagame changes. So, really, a lot of people don't really care about avoiding metagame changes, but will want to avoid talking about Pokemon that haven't been officially revealed yet. So,
all I gotta say is watch for the toucan, because he's a beautiful boy.
Yeah. The game is out November 18th, right after a brand new Animal Crossing update. Yet again, we are going to be abandoning Isabelle to go back and play Pokemon.
At this point, she understands, though. She's a good wife.
She's like, oh, is there a new Pokemon game out?
Well,
oh,
it's okay, though, because if you just, set your clock back, no one will even know when you come back to her in 2 years. So
yeah,
just set yourself a little reminder.
Just lie to your wife, and everything will be okay.
Lie to your dog wife.
I'm really sad, though, that the new Animal Crossing update, which features amiibo compatibility for, Legend of Zelda amiibos, doesn't allow you to scan your Pokemon amiibos into the game to have Pokemon villagers, because the Pokemon Company International has a giant fucking stick up its ass.
Yeah, what would be, what would be a bonus? Because don't they get, full outfits from the Legend of Zelda ones? How would they,
They're straight up villagers. I'm pretty sure you can literally invite them into your town, but at the very least you can interact with them. And I want to interact with a Lucario and then straight romance him and have him to live in my village.
You want to smoke that wacky tobacco with him.
Yeah, the dreadlock furry.
Yeah, the Rastafarian.
Yeah. That's the worst thing anyone's ever said to me.
It is.
And I just said I wanted to fuck a Lucario.
You're so welcome. Moving on. Genesect is live right now, and I think if they will probably have Volcanion codes, which was last month, which we are really bad and forgot to tell you about. But they usually have giant stacks of them, and if not, you can use that little cheat I told you last time and be like, hey, can you print one out at the register for me? Wink, wink. And then we'll be like, what? Who are you? It's closing time. Why are you still here? And then you can just jump behind the register and steal them all.
Yeah, exactly. On that note, things that we missed. About approximately 24 days ago, a demo version of Pokémon Sun and Moon came out.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, there's a demo.
There's a demo.
There were 3 rounds of news, one on October 27th, which is 2 full weeks ago. There was one 2 weeks before that on October 14th, and 10 days before that, there was news on October 4th. Our design document says, did they reveal the starter evolutions? The answer is yes. Our design document asked, did they reveal the NX yet? Yes, they revealed the Nintendo Switch. We'll get to that more in a little bit. Anyways, we really suck at this.
It's fine. You know, if you want us to have more regular updates, you can pay our yearly salaries for the next, 5 years, and then we'll do this a lot more often. Maybe even once a month.
Man, if we just, settled for a once-a-month schedule, we'd probably get it done better. Like, if we just said, episode needs to be out on the first of every month, it'd be like, shit, yeah, okay, we got this.
we can call our good friends at cheaprestraints.com.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get it sponsored. Buy some butt plugs.
Oh God. Okay, next on the dock is Pokemon Go shit. So I'm gonna go to sleep for the next 15 minutes.
Aury, I want you to start a stopwatch. Aury does not care about Pokemon Go and is gonna vape through this entire session. So I'm just gonna try to get through it nice and quick.
Okay. You have 60 seconds starting. Let me get up the stopwatch right now. When you hear Castlevania, go.
There's a Pokemon Go daily bonus. For playing the game. The first Pokemon you catch of the day and the first Pokestop that you visit will get you an extra 500 points. So you are actually incentivized to play the game more often. Also, Pokemon yields have increased. They show up more often, and yields from the Pokestops increase when you visit less of them. So that works for people like me who have no stops nearby their houses. Pokemon Gen 2 and Ditto are programmed into the game as of the last update and should be available soon. There was a Halloween event. Sorry we missed talking about it. It doubled candy from eggs, doubled candy from hatches, and quadrupled the effectiveness of the buddy system. I really hope they do something similar for Christmas, because that's the only way I want to see Delibird in my life. That's it, I'm done. How did I do?
Nice. Got 10 seconds left. You got anything?
Smoke weed, suck a dick.
Smoke weed every day. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, we got this.
That's that. Okay.
That's it for Pokemon Go.
Next.
Another reminder of things that were missed is that the global link for X, Y, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are all closed, so I hope you bought a bunch of extra heart scales with your remaining Poké Miles. If you even know what that means, no one has a Trainer Club account except for us. Literally none of our listenership has any fucking idea what the Pokemon Global Link is, because the Pokemon Company International and Nintendo in general have such a segmented account system. It's just a fucking nightmare.
To be fair, it was trying to do something that I really admire, which was corner the market on the Neopets playership, which no one fucking asked for. So I guess that's a good thing.
Just the fact that you had to go onto the global link, log into their really, really slow website, and then find a very specific link just to register for a competition, which you then had to download that code into your game afterwards, and then again when you actually wanted to start battling, is a fucking labyrinth. You should be able to do absolutely everything on the system itself. I feel
Thankfully,
like I've complained.
That's changing.
I think I've complained about this before.
You have. Many times.
Nintendo accounts, please actually be the centralizing force that you were promised. Please.
Well, they're hoping I'm hoping that they actually do something like that when the NX is released, because that way we'll at least have. I think they're kind of starting that with the Wii U, how they were trying to have the link from the 3DS to the Wii U.
Yeah.
But now that the 3DS is going on sale and it's probably getting deprecated, that is probably a good sign for having a central, what would you call that? Like a community,
just like a platform. It's just like that kind of account system.
Something
which
God.
I hope they. The only thing is the fact that the 3DS still relies on friend codes is honestly embarrassing. I hate it.
Ridiculous.
I hated it so much. And the way that their architecture is built suggests I feel like it suggests that they can't actually patch that out in any way, which is why we're not using our Nintendo accounts for anything on the 3DS.
Apart from Miiverse, which is just a joke at this point.
Yeah, the only Miiverse would be so much better if it didn't take 30 seconds to load.
Yeah, there's that. And I'm on a 2DS, so it's running off of the old 3DS hardware. It just takes so fucking long.
Oh my god. Miiverse, Nintendo accounts, Pokemon Trainer Club accounts, these all need to be one consistent system.
Yeah.
And I hope
actually, speaking of which, if you haven't upgraded your old 3DS yet into a new 3DS, they are probably stopping production at some point, which is why on Black Friday, Nintendo's doing like it's a white black Super Mario Brothers version, but they're $100 instead of 250, depending on
Yeah.
which model you get. So it's a good time to upgrade.
And then for you Canadians, it is $139.99, which is actually only like $7 more expensive than it would be if you just like got that at exchange rate.
Not bad.
And you don't have to worry about like additional shipping and whatnot, which you'd have to do if you imported it. So that's actually a really sweet deal. My friend just bought a 3DS XL. How many do you know people who were just like completely out of it with Nintendo who basically got back into Pokemon after Pokemon Go came out? Because that's like multiple people I know.
I feel like it was. I feel like yes and no. Like they were into the franchise more, but I didn't really. I wasn't working at GameStop after, so I couldn't tell you from like that perspective. But
Yeah.
I didn't really see like it didn't really seem to translate into hardware sales. Like the thing that would really do it was if there is a launch title that involves Pokemon that isn't fucking like Rumble Blast or something like that.
Yeah.
Immediately on the NX or the Switch.
Yeah,
It's the
the
Switch now,
Switch.
Jesus Christ.
But I
So
just
I
mean
think
people. I just mean
that
people
would
who
be
bought.
good.
I mean people who bought a 3DS to play Sun and Moon on after Pokemon Go. Like I know multiple
Oh,
people
yeah.
who actually did that.
And there's always people who will do that too, but yeah, I can't see it being super big like X and
Yeah.
Y was. So it just kind of it depends on if the Switch launch lineup gets released anytime in the next week or two, which it seems like we're kind
It
of
might.
like we're getting really close to that time where it will be. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm actually. They've said that they are working on a Pokemon title for it, and I'm just wondering what kind of title they would be putting on the NX for Pokemon.
Yeah, we've been
Because like it can't be a main series game. They don't want to fragment their audience yet, because like the 3DS is still a strong platform, and I think they want to nurture the fact that they still do have a very strong platform in the 3DS. They won't nurture it in ways that I would like putting DS games and Game Boy Advance games on the eShop, because they hate me specifically.
Yeah.
And also probably some bullshit technological reasons that don't actually matter, and I don't care. And I just
I think
want to
I
be
remember
able to...
seeing that in a press release. They're like, we hate Matt Ribeiro so much that we're not going to put a mainline Pokemon series on a console.
Oh my god! But no,
That's
it
legit.
just
That's confirmed.
legitimately though for the 3DS, I want them to put the fucking Ace Attorney game Apollo Justice on there, so just so I can have all of the Ace Attorney games. It's annoying that I have 1 to 3 and then 5 and 6.
Yeah,
but not 4.
yeah.
And it's really expensive to buy copies of Apollo Justice now, even though they released it on like iOS and Android, which I could just get it on my fucking phone, but I don't want
It's
to.
not the same. It's just not the same. It's just like I bought like the first Ace Attorney game on my phone, and I like immediately regretted it. Like it was still
Yeah.
good, but it was just like nothing was improved, and it just I don't know.
Just Nintendo has like amazing tactile response on their systems, and I think that's such a big thing for me. Like
Yeah.
when I try to play something on an emulator versus when I try to play it like on a system. Like I tried playing Mother 3 like 3 times on an emulator and just couldn't get into it. And then I bought a Game Boy Advance flash cart and put it on there and then played it just on my DS, and it was amazing. Like I loved playing it like that.
I would say that the thing that the NX really needs to do, if we can circle back to that real quick, is if we had something that wasn't strictly Pokemon Stadium, but was more in the vein of like Coliseum, and they actually like put some effort into it, like they did
Oh
with
my god.
XD and Coliseum. Like if they like Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 were good because it was like you were already like really invested with the game, and we're in this kind of like period where a new game is out and we need to support it being out. Like for the tournament scene, it would be amazing to have like an actual like Pokemon Battle Revolution style thing out that we could have on big screens.
Oh, it'd look amazing.
And at the same time, we'd also have something that would be an RPG style game for the NX, and it wouldn't just be like a clone of Stadium or Coliseum. And I realize that's a tall order for a launch title, but I really feel like that would be like just a console destroyer. Like it wouldn't even be a seller. Like that would establish your console for years.
If they fucking just put out like Even if they just put out a Poke Park game, because the Poke Park games are cute.
They're cute, but I think the problem with the Pokemon games is that they haven't had depth, and that's the problem with the sales on Rumble Blast and all those other spin-off games is they're good, and even Mystery Dungeon to a point is good, but it's just not deep enough, and it's not close enough to the original game. But if we had like an actual RPG that Game Freak worked on, even if it was a cut and dry like sequel, I think that's really the answer to the problem, and I think that's what we've been asking for years. So it'll never happen.
Yeah. Ideally for me, would be like at launch they have something simple, like something just like we have a Pokemon game, it's not something huge, we want to get it right, we want to do it a bit later. And like that launch title was say like a Poke Park title, or literally just the mini games from Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, but like redone in HD.
Yeah.
Then ideally down the road you'd get something more like the Coliseum XD sequels. Hopefully after Pokemon Shuffle mercifully fucking dies and I stop playing it, Genius Sonority can get back to making it, because Genius Sonority is the company that made Coliseum and XD, and they're currently doing Pokemon Shuffle, which has like goddamn weekly updates, so they're clearly working on it.
Yeah.
But mind you, the updates are pretty simple, like just like releasing stages, and I'm pretty sure they already have that full release schedule set up. It's just someone to like make sure the patches work and don't break anything.
Yeah.
That brings me to an interesting thing. We're gonna start getting into the new data mine leak whatnot stuff. So if you want to turn back here, there are Pokédex entries for Mega Evolutions now, and all of them are super fucking like this. Like for one for Mega Glalie, for example, is like the raw like evolution power breaks its jaw, and it becomes like this insatiable fighting machine.
It sounds really, like, brutal. Like, it sounds...
You know what it fucking sounds like, Aury?
What?
It sounds like what Shadow Pokemon are.
Oh, shit.
If they were to fucking retcon Shadow Pokemon to be an attempt to make permanent Mega Evolution a thing,
shit.
like, get the force of Mega Evolution in, like, a permanent kind of way, then that would be a fucking amazing way to bring us into the OR RPGs, which would be a Nintendo Switch fucking platform destroyer, as you put it.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
those are our hopes for the Switch on Pokemon basis.
So it'll never happen, but at least we have it stated so that they can't infringe our copyright.
At least we have our hopes set nice and high so that Nintendo can fucking destroy them again.
Yeah, you know, it's just been the last 16 years as a video game fan. Okay, so we're gonna get into... What are we getting into?
There's so much. We're starting with Jangmo. Its evolutions were revealed. It's dragon fighting.
It's got plates.
And
not like
they
dinner
jingle.
plates, but like
they
like
fucking
armor
jingle.
plates.
They jingle, and one of its moves is based entirely on its plates jingling.
Yeah, there's a lot of sound based like moves, and that seems to be a theme because there's a lot of, and I'm not gonna get into a ton of specifics, but there's at least 3 abilities that like deal with sound specifically, and hyper voice seems to be like a big thing that they're modifying in abilities and items and stuff. So we're probably gonna see a few more soundproof mons too, which will be kind of cool. How there'll be like a mini metagame within the game.
Type Null evolves, and its evolved form is basically Arceus. So like that's confirmed everyone's theories about it, in that it was trying to create something like that. Like it had like its evolution Silvally has something called the RKS system. Are you fucking kidding me? It's literally called the RKS system.
I just put a wheat thin in my mouth.
Yeah. So it functionally is like trying to be Arceus, and the fact that it's an evolution means that Type Null, which has pretty decent stats, can hold Eviolite. If you've heard anything about Eviolite being nerfed, it's not true. It's not a thing that happened.
Excellent.
It's still a full 1.5, which is great, because I love Eviolite.
Dusknoir continues on.
Well, Eviolite Dusclops.
Dusclops, yes, that's right.
Because Dusknoir is fucking irrelevant now.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because it's ugly.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Alolan Grimer is dark and bitey, is what it says on the notes.
And what does it say after that, Aury?
Muck is gay icon. Hell yeah, baby, he was born this way.
Yeah, perfect. I just love it. We have some more information on Z-moves, but we're gonna like leave a bit of that till after the game is out, because they are way more complicated than we thought they were.
Yes, they are, and it seems like a lot of like the testers are still trying to figure out what specifically they do and when they can be used. So we're gonna wait until we get all our ducks in a row.
Well, I have a couple of things I can say now. In that, all the Pokemon-specific Z moves replace a specific move, and like it's said in the item description which move it is, so you can make sure that move's on your moveset. So like Eevee's Extreme Evo Boost, the one where he gets every stat, goddamn, is replaces Last Resort.
Ah, okay.
And Pikachu's main one, Catastropika, replaces Thunderbolt. Those are the two I can remember off the top of my head. As for the normal type-based Z moves, their effects change based on which move you're replacing, including status moves.
That's interesting. I wonder if they're finally changing Curse to be like an action. Is it a typed move now?
It has.
I feel like we talked about this on a previous episode.
Curse has been a typed move since 6th gen. It's fully Ghost now.
Right. Okay.
The Curse does do something different, but I can't remember what it is. All I know is that like the one for Belly Drum heals you completely before Belly Drum takes effect. So basically what happens whenever you do it with a status move is that the Z effects happen first, and then the normal move happens. So with Belly Drum, it'll heal you completely, and I think it raises something, maybe like a defensive stat, before doing a normal Belly Drum and maxing out your attack.
But it would still have your health.
Yeah, you'd have more of your health, because it heals you first, but you still do a normal Belly Drum afterwards. But I didn't tell you what Splash does. I didn't want to spoil this for you beforehand.
I'm so ready.
Splash, as a Z move, raises your attack by 3. So,
hell yeah, +3 tackle Magikarp. Fuck yes.
No, but some people like listed the various things that get Splash, and there's a lot of things that end up with Splash. Like the best example is just the Gyarados can get Splash.
Yeah, Gyarados would keep it from Magikarp.
Yeah, exactly.
But...
The fastest thing that gets it is Jumpluff, who could probably make good use of a +3 attack.
That's
so, like,
interesting.
I want everyone to go through and find all the things that learn Splash, and then consider the fact that they can now have a +3 attack. One really, really important getter of Splash is Mimikyu.
Ooh.
So Mimikyu's disguise ability, as we mentioned in previous episodes, allows it to take one hit, no damage, just that hit just glances off it.
It's essentially a substitute. It's a substitute for one.
It's
round.
only once per battle, though. Yeah, it's not once per switch. So it comes in, and it doesn't have to come in on an attack. You start with it. You start with it, and you immediately use Splash and get +3 attack. Your opponent attacks you, does nothing. You have +3 attack, and you're safe to go.
It's a good move.
Mimikyu's the new meta. Mimikyu is everything.
We'll see.
Passimian we're on to next. He inherits the ability of a fainted Pokemon. So far, it looks like it's only your ally, so it might only be in doubles. I don't think anyone's actually rigorously tested it in singles yet.
Yeah.
Or really rigorously tested it at all. I haven't really seen anyone being like, man, I really need to check how Passimian works. Like, most people are looking into base stat changes. There's a lot of Pokemon who had updated base stats, of which we have a list somewhere, which I might just post with the episode instead of talking about all of them.
Yeah, I think Omega Donut probably will be testing this more extensively, but...
Yeah, I've followed and have been retweeting a lot of the data miners and like researchers on Twitter. So if you follow our Twitter at E4Restore, like every time there's new leak information, new updates, you're more likely to hear it there than you are to hear it on our podcast.
Yes, very much
Like,
so.
I am actually very good at keeping our Twitter updated, because when I'm at work, all I do is read the Pokemon subreddit and the Smogon research thread. Do you remember that meme, Aury?
Confirmed by the Smogon research thread. Yes, I remember.
No. The exact phrasing is, the Smogon research thread seems to indicate. And I think that was actually about Eviolite.
A classic.
Because it was when Eviolite was being introduced, and it was known as the Evolutionary Stone.
God almighty.
Because this was in 5th gen when they had to data mine with the Japanese game with no English translation. For like several months before the game would actually come here. But now, like, 1, the games all come out everywhere at the same time, and 2, there's like cross-language Pokemon communities now, which is kind of great.
It's insane.
Everyone really knows each other and loves each other.
I love it.
Oranguru, normal psychic. This thing was announced forever ago, but we have had no time.
Well, we talked about it briefly with Patrick. It has inner focus and telepathy, so it's really good for doubles. It doesn't really matter what you have, because I feel like this new gen is going to be really flinch heavy.
Oh yeah.
So probably good to have either or, honestly. But Instruct allows your partner to repeat their attack, which is like just crazy.
Yeah. So basically, you keep telepathy if you think your teammates are going to be using moves that could hit you.
Yep.
So like if you have discharge users, surf users, earthquake users, and the like, use telepathy. But if you want to avoid being flinched, which is also extremely important, then obviously inner focus. Would you rather fight a buff Oranguru or a Passimian who listens to jazz? Things to remember. The Oranguru has a lot of pent-up anger and can physically make you beat yourself up.
Psychically make you beat yourself up.
Sorry. Passimian exposure to jazz music allows it to engage in Harlem Globetrotter-style antics. This question from our good friend Zach Cataquax.
And his girlfriend Katie. They actually corresponded on this one.
Yeah,
I'm going jazz because the mental image of a Passimian who is literally like whistling Sweet Georgia Brown as he's like completely fucking you up is just a fantastic mental image.
I like how this isn't which one could you beat in a fight, but just which one would you rather obviously just get beat up by.
Yeah, no, I mean like you're gonna lose either way. But the Passimian, if I'm gonna lose, I also think that he should probably know English and talk like that Futurama character who has that really deep voice and is also on the Harlem Globetrotters. So that's my vote.
Oh, the Bubblegum Tate?
Bubblegum Tate, yes, that's his name. Yes.
Okay.
This battle is pretty funky, but this move is funky.
We have another related question to those two Pokemon. What's the best name for an Oranguru, Aury?
Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius.
Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius.
Oh,
Dr. Zaius.
Dr. Zaius. There you go.
They finally made a monkey out of me.
We're done. We're super done.
That was from Ted Theodore Logan on Tumblr.
God almighty. You want to talk about Pokken Tournament?
Just a little bit. So, like, I love the idea of a Pokemon fighting game, but, like, Pokken is rarely, for someone who's played Smash Bros. His whole life, is too much of a real fighting game for me.
It really is. I tried to play it for a long time, and I just couldn't get into it.
I really like the characters that they decide to introduce for it. Like,
yeah.
they had a lot of fun, like, past getting the obvious shit in there, like the obvious Lucario and the, like, the choices that they've made since have been really fun. So, like, Scizor was the most recently announced fighter when I was originally making the document for this episode, which, like, Scizor is fun. That's a fun choice. Really, like, anything upright's a pretty good choice. But
Suicune's a good choice. I really like that they included him.
I mean, no choice is better than Chandelure.
Okay, yeah, Chandelure's my main man.
I love they had, like, a body type chart for Pokken, and it's, like, upright, quadruped, and then just Chandelier.
Very good.
It's good. The second one that was announced was Krogunk, and its personality is a lot like I think it's Brock's Krogunk from the anime, so it's just a little shit.
It's a little douchebag. He
inflates
his cheeks. Is that what he does?
Yeah, and I just someone posted like a high res scan of its like image from the promo art. It's like I could feel this image with my eyes.
Ugh.
Like they got the slime down right.
Ugh.
This is why I'm really excited for the idea of Pokemon on the NX, because like Pokemon looks okay on the 3DS, but there's constant frame rate drops because they have to keep the performance consistent across all versions. So even with the new 3DS's increasing processing power, it still struggles to do double battles most of the time. And the fact that we have to, watch competitive Pokemon on this means like it kind of hampers its esports scene. We've gone into the esports stuff pretty in detail in previous episodes.
Yeah, we have.
There's a lot of reasons why it doesn't work as an esport, and its visual acuity is a portion of it, but not most of it.
Yes, we will probably be touching on that in future episodes.
Yeah, we have a whole segment on competitive that we're going to be touching on later that we've just continuously bumped because there's been more to talk about otherwise.
Yeah.
That's going to be more important once the new Pokemon competitive season starts, so we'll probably save that one for mid-December.
We don't have any idea what the metagame will look like, and so there's no point in guessing on what it's going to look like until we have like full data mines and stuff.
Yeah. I think they've announced parts of the format, but we're not going to like we know that there's no megas allowed and it's a Alola Dex.
Yeah.
But we don't know much else.
Let's go rapid fire through the smaller, like, notable meta changes.
Yeah, so we're gonna link a couple of documents, so if you want to spoil yourselves, you can get into this in more detail. But we're gonna just get through some of our favorites. Like, we both picked over the document and found stuff that we liked a lot.
Yep.
first one that I forgot to write down here, Ariados got a special defense boost of 10, which is like it's cool.
Yeah,
a boost of 10.
Defense, yeah.
That's fine. It also got a signature move, which is like a combination sticky web and poison. It's not. It's not.
It doesn't feel useful to me. Like it's cool, and I'm glad that they did it just to sate me, apparently, because no one else asked for this. But it's just it could. I just make Ariados great again. Like just he's so he's so good. He's such a good boy.
We had a question relating to that. We'll get to it. Farfetch'd got a boost of 25 in attack, which
Special
if you remember,
attack.
No, it's normal attack. No, I don't know. Farfetch'd.
Oh, Farfetch'd got more attack. That's
yeah,
right. Swallow
Farfetch'd got 25.
Attack.
Got 25 attack, and if you remember, he has a signature item that doubles his attack.
Hell
so like
yeah.
75 doubled makes him as strong as like a Metacham with pure power.
Yeah, actually, the last. This reminds me a lot of my good friend Allison. She goes by Fishy on Nugget Bridge and other associated areas. She won the Seattle Regional. I think it was the year that it was a Nova Dex only. She won with a no, it was like the year after that. But she won with a team with like a Vaporeon and a Marowak with Thick Club. And so it was an amazing team, and I highly recommend you check it out. We'll probably find like the Nugget Bridge article for it somewhere. But it was one of the coolest things to see like a Pokemon like that. I really hope we see like a Farfetch'd like we did like Pachirisu from last year.
I love seeing weird stuff like that happen. Like there was someone who'd won with an unusual Pokemon recently, and I retweeted it onto the Elite Full Restore Twitter. And as soon as I can find it in the feed, I'm gonna talk about it. Right, Cottony.
Yeah, Cottony
is a regional championship via Jamie Boyd.
Hell yeah, Cottony's been in use for a long time actually. Like she I think it's probably Endeavor Cottony, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like how it's Jamie Boyd's icon now. is a Cottony. Which is like it's really fun. Like Cottony's been in use plenty, but like now Cottony's a regional champion.
It's so good.
And like that's keeping in mind like this is still the previous gen's format. Like they're still using the Oras like restricted legendaries format. So like this Cottony's going up against goddamn Mega Rayquazas.
Hell yeah, it is.
That's some Pachirisu level shit right there. Except Pachirisu, the worst thing it had to deal with is a Garchomp.
You want to talk about the Smogon Bird nerf?
Oh my god, Kate. So you know some of these, Aury. You know some of the things that have happened to make the life of the Smogon Bird worse.
I'm so excited for you to tell me the rest
of
them.
So, you know about the priority rock move.
Yep.
You know about the fact that two Pokemon, one that has super effective moves against it, have abilities that block priority. We have Bruxish and we have Serena.
Love it.
Aury?
Yes.
Gale Wings only works at full health now.
What?
Gale Wings only works when you're at full HP.
Holy shit. Whoa. Hold on. Okay, hold on. So, Gale Wings is for those of you who don't know, is the it's the signature ability of Talonflame. Like its hidden ability was Gale Wings, its original ability was Flame Body. But essentially what Gale Wings does is it increases the priority of flying type moves by 1. So, essentially anything, Brave Bird, Drill Peck if you wanted to use that, but
Acrobatics,
stuff like that. It makes it essentially like Quick Attack or Shadow Sneak and stuff like that. So, but now, holy shit, that's amazing. So essentially what this does is because there's a priority rock move, there's no way that Talonflame can do anything.
Well, okay, it's still faster than Lycanroc day form, so it can get a hit off. Like you could still, like if you're the first one in and you haven't been hit by Stealth Rock, like in singles it's useless now because like there's always like Stealth Rock is abound still in singles form.
You could run Focus Sash. You could run oh fuck, this is so good. Oh my god.
So
Rest in
functionally,
piss, Talonflame.
Yeah,
oh my god.
So Talonflame priority roosts gone. The ability to use Brave Bird more than once gone. Functionally, you're going to have to run acrobatics sets, or you're going to be used to set up Tailwind. Like, that's going to be its niche now. Like, it can set up
God is
Tailwind
good.
faster than most things. It's still going to be
God
good,
is so good.
but it got destroyed down.
That's so funny.
Swellow got 25 more special attack and has Hurricane. So, like, keeping in mind that it got Boom Burst last generation and its hidden ability is Scrappy.
Hell yeah.
Another way in which Swellow was indirectly boosted is that burn damage is down from 1/8 to 1/16.
Yeah, so it can if you don't want to run Scrappy, I think Swallow gets Guts, right?
Yeah, it gets Guts as this other one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
basically,
So you can
like,
run
the
with
idea.
Flame Orb now.
Yeah, well, I always run it with Flame Orb anyway because I hate switching. So, like, I wasn't getting the advantage of constantly switching out, which is what you get with Toxic Orb, because Toxic Orb does 1/16 on first turn, 1/8, then 3/16, and that's only then after 3 turns does it start doing more damage. So
Love life.
Yeah.
I love life.
So burn damage is reduced. So Swallow is better across the board. Both its sets are better, which is great. Dark Void is fucking nerfed.
It's
Did I tell you?
destroyed.
Did you see?
Can just
Did you
say
see what happened
It's
to Dark?
annihilated. Dark Void's accuracy went from 90% to 50%.
And it is much like Hyperspace Fury used by the Hoopa, whatever the fuck the giant monster form is called. I play a lot of Pokemon, guys. I have a Pokemon podcast. I know what everything is called. It's
you?
locked. It's locked to Darkrai only.
Yes, so you can't sketch it is essentially what that means.
So
Smeargle
basically-
can't use it. It's not going to be in the meta game anymore. is
Yeah,
what that
well, like
means.
Smeargle itself is still in the meta because it's in the Alola Dex, so it's still going to be around. But like, it doesn't have Dark Void, so like the worst it can do is gone.
Yep. God
And I hope
bless
this becomes a
America.
thing in general with more potent signature moves.
Precipice Blades, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That'd
like
be
those,
nice.
like a lot of those things, like it wouldn't use anyway. Like Dark Void was really the worst of the worst. I kind of wish they didn't nerf its accuracy as well, because
I
like
feel like-
Darkrai's used in like an Uber's doubles format. Like it's not even usable in a regular doubles
It
format.
could
'cause
be
it's
a way
banned
to
across
balance
board.
the Ubers format for a future tournament.
Yeah, maybe.
This is reckless speculation, obviously, but that would be a good way to keep just Darkrai teams from.
Yeah, it would
meta
definitely
games.
reduce the usage of Darkrai. This one's not fully confirmed, so I don't have 100% on this one, but there were some early reports that poison types are immune to Leech Seed. That seems just to make
I
sense.
don't think that actually got confirmed because grass types are immune to Leech Seed,
Yeah,
and they might only be using it on grass poison types.
I feel like these guys are like not that dumb.
Well, that's what we thought, but the Smogon research thread seems. To...
I'm just remembering the whole fucking swimming goggles debacle, where someone just like made up that item and then a whole bunch of people reported on it.
I love it.
Another thing that was speculated in the leaks was was unaware changing. So basically, it would only work when you're attacking your opponent. You would ignore their defensive boosts, but when they attacked you, you wouldn't ignore their attacking boost. But that one was deconfirmed shortly afterwards. Yeah, they'd only gotten the idea that had changed from its description, but its description is just shitty because they don't know how to write good copy. Eat shit.
When my buddy listens to this podcast and he works for that team. That's good.
Boom. Roasted. Gengar.
roasted.
Gengar has lost Levitate.
Let that sink
makes-
in, people.
It makes sense. It never fucking levitated.
Well,
And the whole idea is it gets more solid as its forms evolve. And it was always on the ground. Like, Gengar's always standing. In every single sprite, in every single
Yeah.
animation, it's always on the ground. So that one just seemed almost inevitable. I almost feel like they should have levitating be like an intrinsic stat, and then just like give levitate to anything that's hovering that isn't a fish.
and give it like
And let it have an ability, like
instead.
let it have another
that's
ability
interesting.
otherwise. Because
Pretty
like things like coughing and wheezing would be great if they could have another ability.
like sturdy or something.
Oh my
like
god,
that.
wheezing with
Cool.
sturdy, that would be amazing.
So fun.
Sturdy explosions.
I don't think it would work like that, but that'd be cool.
One thing I want to say with regard to explosions is one more leaked thing I want to discuss in brief detail is the Alolan Geodude, Graveler, and Golem are rock electric.
What a shocking development!
They have an ability called Galvanize, which is refrigerate but for electric moves. And Golem can use Galvanized Explosion, an electric type explosion.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which I love that kind of ability. The Eyes or 8 abilities.
pixelate and aerolate and shit like that.
Yeah.
like
I think
those.
they're really fun, and I think more of them should come around because there's a fun way to do it. Although I kind of feel like the 30 power boost is a bit of overkill.
Yeah, I don't like that as much.
Like if it was like 20, I mean it would be fine if it didn't happen at all because like the Pokemon are already strong, and like they're generally already using strong moves, and like anytime you're using this with return is always like ludicrously overpowered.
Parental Bond got nerfed, and I've kind of come around to maybe it didn't need to be nerfed.
Why don't you figure?
I just don't. I don't feel like at a certain point in the meta, it just wasn't as big a deal anymore. Like as opposed to what's the nerf now? Is the second hit does
The second hit does 25% instead of 50%, which actually, honestly, in flavor makes more sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Like, just
apply
'cause
the
it's-
on-hit effect either, right?
And it doesn't apply the on-hit effect on the second effect.
See how I would have done it is I would have just made made the hit net 150 across both, but evenly.
So 75 and 75?
Yeah,
Okay.
but and then I would have kept the on hit effect the way it is now. But
How would that be a significant change then?
well, what it would do is essentially like you would still have the sash breaking ability, but as opposed to it. Hold on, I gotta collect my thoughts.
The one thing that it does, if it affects on hit, I think this means it doesn't take extra damage from Rocky Helmet or Iron Barbs either, though.
Well, it wouldn't take extra damage regardless, because Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs do static damage.
Doesn't it take a hit for both hits, though?
Yes.
Because that's the whole reason why people started running, like, Rocky Helmet Ferrothorns and
Well, this would
Rough-Skin
still
Garchomps.
happen, because on hit would still trigger. It's the on hit for the move, not for the effect.
Oh, okay.
Because it would be for each physical hit on the Pokemon. So Rocky Helmet would still trigger twice.
Okay, I don't know if that's... Yeah, I don't think anyone's, like, specifically said anything about that, though, so I want to actually follow up on that one in a future episode.
Yeah, because if you were running, like, Fire Punch Kangaskhan, it would be, like, a net of, like, 15%, because it's 10%, and then...
Right.
Yeah, but, yeah, Rocky Punch, because it's a physical contact for each hit, it's still... no, Rocky Helmet would trigger twice.
Another unconfirmed thing is someone is saying that the chance of confusion self-hit is down from 1/3 to 1/2. I kind of like that.
It doesn't really matter. It's not like when you're,
you're
talking about...
Yeah, to 1/3 from 1/2.
Yeah, when you're talking about like parafusing and paraflinching and stuff like that, like this, it's a way
high
to reduce hacks, but it's still a lot. Yeah.
It's
not gonna change anything.
There's a lot. I think they watched Worlds. I think that's really just it.
That might
they
be
watched
it,
Worlds
yeah.
and they saw a lot of things that were like, because there was a lot of confusion stuff going on there.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like people hitting confusion like 3 times in a row and shit like you don't really want to deal with.
Yeah.
I think
it's not fun to watch,
I think I saw something about like even multiple protect chances have been like reduced because of the one time the guy nailed 3 protects in a row, which was like
it's like
honestly,
a 15%. No, it's like
much lower.
It's 100, and then it goes to what 50, and then it goes
something
to
like that.
25.
Like it's a pretty high fractioning. So happening 3 times in a row is very, very hard. Yeah. And yeah, no, it's like, and also I believe Swagger's accuracy was also reduced to make it like less useful.
Interesting.
Because Swagger was also a popular strategy.
So like 90.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Speed drop from paralysis is down to 1/2 from 1/4.
Yeah.
So
I like this. This is good.
Well, yeah, because then now like paralysis isn't a full death sentence. Like you could practically outrun things with a fucking slow bro when things were paralyzed because like it was just so far down.
Yeah, I would actually.
I think I would have probably gone.
They should just have it as speed tier like -6.
Like they're like
a priority tier. Like it would just instead of it like actually physically reducing speed, I think it would just deprioritize all your moves.
Yeah, see, well, the thing about that is, like, the idea, I think, with reducing the actual speed drop is to make it less effective, and that would make it more effective.
Yeah, but I like paralysis. Like, I like this, but I also like making paralysis more of, like, a death sentence, because it's fun. Paralysis is super fun. Like, if you were to do that where it's, like, a physical speed tier drop, and then drop the chance of being fully paralyzed to, let's say, 12-5. And I feel like that would be more indicative of what paralysis is. But that's just, it's killing Peter to pay Paul. It's something different.
Well, that's everything for like our meta changes that we wanted to get into. We'll link some of the other ones, including the base stat upgrades, which, like, I'm glad base stat upgrades are a thing now. Like, they just avoided doing that for so long.
Yeah, it's a good move.
It's a really good move.
I think we should skip the Ultra Beast section for next episode.
I just want to say one thing about the Ultra Beasts.
Okay.
Remember UBO2 Absorption, our mosquito friend?
Yes, Swole Boy.
His name is Buzzwole. Buzzwole.
Love it.
Like, they actually use Swole in its goddamn name. Ultra Beasts are Pokemon. Just, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
We had a question about that a while back. Do you think they'll have regular Pokemon typing, and do you think they're just Pokemon? We just don't have a lot of information on them.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. We won't get into it in too much detail, because, I mean, even just saying they're Pokemon is kind of a spoiler detail of how the story runs.
Yes.
So we won't say much more. Doesn't look like hordes are still around. I'm hoping that someone finds more about them, because so far it doesn't look like EV training is particularly as active as it used to be. Like, it looks like it might be more of a passive thing using the Pokepelago, like the PC system there.
Bring back super training.
Yeah, like, I don't think anyone's seen super training at all, because people found Wonder Trading. Wonder Trading's there, and apparently the servers are working, so people with hacked copies of the game can do Wonder Trades.
Interesting. That's kind of cool. I like
yeah.
that.
We're getting into our questions now.
Okay, so first question is from our good friend Eddie. Does Galvantula have Puss Puss? Our second question is from Executor. Why they so slow?
I don't know if you looked over the base stats for all the new Pokemon yet, like I did, because I get really bored at work because my job doesn't involve me actually doing anything that requires any skill or effort whatsoever.
I wish I had that problem, honestly.
Almost every new Pokemon is, like, frightfully slow. The fastest starter has a base speed of 70.
I'm a huge fan of Trick Room teams, so I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah, you know who's
gonna
be fucking
weird.
You know who's gonna be great in Trick Room? Vikavolt. It has a base speed of 45.
Oh my
it looks
God.
like it's supposed to be so fast.
It
just
does.
seems
It looks like it's like a Ninjask ripoff. I'm actually kind of
and it's
surprised
slow
at
as
that.
shit. I don't
That's
understand how they did that.
God, that's weird.
It's like, I feel like
Electros Vikavolt new meta.
Yeah, it just feels like they're sticking to the idea of, like, what kind of base stat totals they want on Pokemon, but they also want to make things bulkier, so obviously that just means they have to sacrifice one thing, and the thing that they're always going to sacrifice seems to be speed, especially because Pokemon's power creep continues more or less.
Pretty much.
There's a lot of things.
Pyukumuku also has that kind of, like, issue where it's got, like, a... What was it? It's got no...
It has no attacking moves whatsoever.
Attacking moves and all status moves, and it's got, like, 5 speed, so it's like a weird shuckle.
Yeah,
like,
and it has, like, a shitty base HP. It has, like, a decently... I think it's, like, 48 base HP, like, Spinda level HP.
Yeah.
But it has 135 base defenses, so...
I do like that. Yeah, it's very shuckleish. That's
it learns counter, which is what everyone expected to do with it. So, like, if you don't kill it, it counters you, and if you do kill it, Innards Out just takes and punches you right in the guts. So, like, it has an option if you don't kill it. So, like, with the idea of, like, we were thinking, like, Pyukumuku, if you leave it with a little bit of HP, it's functionally useless at that point, and it has that option available to it. That actually reminds me, we have an update on how Komala's ability works. You know, the one about him being asleep all the time?
Yes.
So he is actually asleep all the time, but while asleep can attack.
Oh, like sleep talk, but like all the time.
Yeah, sleep talk, but all the time. It means he functionally can't use rest. I don't know if he gets, like, slack off or a different recovery move. But yeah, he's literally always asleep, so he's immune to status.
It's interesting.
And he has 115 base attack.
I do like that.
I think that thing's going to be a lot of fun to play with. Our third question is from Leland. Can you please discuss the revelation that humans and Pokemon can date each other?
I whip off my sunglasses and say, finally, my fantasies are coming true.
If anyone didn't play through the demo of Sun and Moon, at one point there's a lady who's saying that her new boyfriend helped her out when she hurt her ankle, and then you wait a couple of days to meet her boyfriend, and a fucking Machamp walks up. A goddamn Machamp walks up to her.
Then I do my Rod Serling voice. No comment here. No comment at all.
We know, like, people have been trying to fuck Lucario for ages. Like, people are just so desperate to just get their dick right in that Rastafarian right there.
So this begs the question. Does that mean that Machamp cranks hog?
Does Machamp crank his hog? I feel like he could crank his hog at a higher efficiency than most other Pokemon could.
Yeah, because when you know how your arm gets tired, so he's got 4. Like, he can just keep going.
Him got a big dicky and 4 arms.
Him got a big dicky and 4 big arms. That's right.
Question from Daves. So Nick Robinson from Polygon looks just like Dartrix. But which Pokemon do each of the McElroy brothers look like?
This is such a great question.
Which Pokemon have beards? I think that's a good spot to start.
Okay,
like
so
Mega Alakazam.
Justin doesn't have a beard, right?
No, I'm talking about. So I was starting with Travis.
Oh, we're starting with Travis. Okay, so Travis. Oh, God, this is hard. I gotta actually look at Pokemon. Hold on.
Just get like a montage image of all of them in one place, and then you can just wildly scan it.
All Pokemon.jpg.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally what I'm typing into Google. Okay, here we go. This is 1,024. This is not all Pokemon. That's not it either. Here we go. 7,500 by 80,000.
Good Christ.
This is... Oh my God. This is Gajinkas of all the Pokemon. This is not what I was looking for.
Why are Pokemon fans so fucking horny?
I hate Pokemon fans.
They're all so goddamn horny. Well, I mean, you look at all the people in Alola, and everyone's just like, "Goddamn, I'm so horny." Wait, we didn't discuss the most important fucking thing yet.
Can we? Let's finish the McElboys.
Okay, yeah. It's so important. We can't forget.
Okay, I feel like Travis is a Shelgon.
Okay.
He's just a little gruff and tumble kind of boy.
Okay, he's just a rowdy, rumbly, tumbly little boy.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Well, he's a big boy. He's a big man boy.
He's a big boy, but he's not very big, and he's not like, you know.
Okay, so now we get to Justin. Justin's in the middle. He's got to be some kind of middle evolution. He's a soft boy, but he's a tough boy. He will not take Griffin's shit. I'm thinking middle form. It's got to be a middle form. He's the middle boy.
I was thinking Mantike.
Mantike for Justin?
Oh, yeah. No. Wait. Let me pull that one back. Pidgeotto.
Ooh.
Might be a good one.
Justin Beekman.
Yes, Justin Beekman, the big boy. Yes.
Griffin is Smoochum. He's Smoochum.
Griffin is not Smoochum. Griffin is Igglybuff. That's who Griffin
is.
Shit,
yeah,
Griffin is absolutely Igglybuff. He's just your little baby boy.
Grigglybuff McElroy.
Griggly Peepus McElroy. That's his name.
The super important thing I need to discuss is that in the post-game of Sun and Moon, this is something that has been announced. There's a feature called the Battle Tree where you can battle trainers from old regions, and you see Red and Blue together, and they're absolutely on their honeymoon. Literal 100%
and we've been
chance.
saying this for 20 years, that Red and Blue are dating and kissing. And yes, my fiance is nodding her head. So that's confirmed.
You need to get over to Bulbapedia's shipping section, which we have discussed in detail on previous episodes. And
we have talked about shipping so much during this podcast, I don't understand why you haven't looked at this section yet.
Just don't be confused and think that it's the same thing as AAAALE, also known as Ash and Gary Love, because the anime and game counterparts are not the same character. Red is a strong silent type, and Gary, I fucked
bottoms.
It up. Blue is the twink. He's the bottom twink. He is a fast, slippery otter.
Ew, no! Oh, God!
That leads
Oshawott!
Yeah. Leads me into the next unrelated question. Does Smogon Research have an official stance on who is the cutest Pokemon and why is it Oshawott? That is from Caitlin, Arsenic, and Old Spice, who, full disclosure, I gave an Oshawott plushie to. So she has a soft spot for Oshawott.
That's nice. I'm going to have to hard disagree here and say that the cutest Pokemon is not Oshawott, though he is very cute. Matt, who is your vote for the cutest Pokemon?
I don't know if anyone's familiar with Tumblr user / general creepypasta personality Bogleech.
If you say Dirt Quattro, I'm going to
No,
jump into
Bogleech.
the computer and kill you.
Bogleech, he's a guy who does Pokemon reviews all the time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he generally does like monster reviews. He writes his own monster webcomic called Awful Hospital, really, really good. And generally just has like a really, really good opinion on like monster designs. Like he really likes bug types and poison types and isn't really much for the cutesy shit quite as much. But he made me think a lot about the fact that Chansey looks weirdly like an amphibian. And, like, looking at it that way makes it so much cuter. It's just like a giant, weird fucking amphibian with weird feelers on its head and just a tiny face. I love Chansey
like a weird,
so
fat
much.
axolotl.
Yeah, exactly. Like a weird, fat axolotl. That's exactly how he
That's so
described and then
weird.
drew it. And I'm voting Chansey for that reason.
That's fascinating, actually. Okay, I like that.
I'm going to link his Pokemon reviews in the comments because they're all really good.
I'm a big Vaporeon lover. We all know that. I gotta say though, like it's been a hard tie since Gen 1, and I still can't figure out who wins between Poliwag and Abra, because
Did I
they're literally the two cutest things to ever exist.
Did I show you
in
my
a
Poliwag
medium.
plush that I have?
I will die if I see a Poliwag.
It's a Okay, it's one of the Ditto Pokemon plushies. So it's a Poliwag with
it's
a Ditto
flat
face.
boy. Oh
yeah,
yes,
so cute.
that's a good one.
Oh yeah, Poliwag is also very, very up there. It's just
Good
so
shit.
and just I like that its guts show through its skin. That's just such a good detail.
Oh, it's so good. Little swirly guts.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Brandless asks, if you had to make your ultimate basketball team out of Pokemon with no repeats, what would it be and how could they beat the 96 Bulls? I'm
Okay,
going to go out
first
on a
of
limb
all,
and say this is the best question we've ever received.
It honestly is. And I
Also
just
that
wanna
I'm
say,
not going to be very good at answering it because I don't watch enough basketball. So let's get...
okay, well,
let's
I watch
go over the
a
positions here.
shitload of basketball. So, okay. So, essentially how it works is there's 5 positions, and they are all differentiated by, like, being within, like, an inch of height within one another. So, the short guy is still, like, 6,000 feet tall.
Unless he's Muggsy Bogues.
Unless he's Muggsy Bogues, Charlotte Hornets represent my city, right to my city.
Represent Space Jam, which is my entire knowledge
God,
of basketball.
Love Muggsy Bogues. He's my boy. I'm going to say that regardless of who I put on this team, it would eventually end up being the Golden State Warriors, and that means they would choke a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So...
Who jumps?
But it's got to be different Pokemon. Okay, Tropius is the center. Like that's
Yeah.
just he's too tall. He's got it. He's got the nasty
Alolan
swiveling head.
Exeggutor, though.
He's not as like Tropius has the girth. So we're gonna say that Alolan Exeggutor is the power forward. I would say.
I too rank all my Pokemon by girth.
Yes. Well, if it's if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
If the hog fits,
If the hog fits, you must acquit.
you must crank it.
I'm gonna say, God, who's the point guard? Who's the guy who takes it up the floor? Who's our Muggsy Bogues?
Dodrio.
I like Dodrio. I like the idea of him just like smacking his head against the ball repeatedly with different heads to keep it going.
Dodrio got an attack boost and also jump kick.
I like that.
So
That's
like
soccer though.
Yeah, no, but like jump kick I feel like it just implies that they can jump really well.
Okay. I'm gonna say Lickitung is Draymond
Ooh.
Green. 'Cause
Okay.
he gets you in the balls. Instead
True.
of with his feet though, like Draymond Green, he gets you with his tongue.
Yeah.
And
It's sticky on the end. He's got good grip. He's got
guy-
good ball handling.
Yeah, he's got great ball handling. Just handle it.
Lickitung's tongue has great ball handling.
It's got
great ball
You heard
handling.
it here first, folks. And our last guy, I'm gonna say it's gotta be. I'm thinking. I keep going back to Cricketune for some reason. I don't know why.
I feel like
but
Cricketune's got to be on the cheer squad. Like, how do you like?
Cricketune is the water boy. So
Just-
this team has 4 players and a water boy.
Whoosh!
That's right. Yeah. So there's 4 players and a water boy, and that's it. So there you go. And no, but they can choke a lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's the answer to your question.
All right, we have a lot more questions, and we're already over an hour. So I feel like we need to just stick with one to end, so I want you to just pick that while I get to thanks Bulbapedia to get our closing quote. For
Okay, I'm gonna let's do this. Let's roll through them real quick.
If you think we can answer all these,
we're gonna rapid fire. We're gonna go 1, 1, 1, 1. We're gonna go fast. Let's do this. 1. What do you think Carly Rae Jepsen's favorite Pokemon is? By Seeing Daylight / Rachel.
That's probably a Jigglypuff. Like, I feel like she would just identify right there with that girlish image, and it's like a Jigglypuff that's actually 30 goddamn years old.
I think it's Giratina. Next question.
I'm the most emo boy in high school cafeteria circa 2004. What is my Pokemon team?
It's 5 Gastlys and Clefairy.
I think it would have
question.
an Absol on it because it's 2004.
Yeah, okay,
and Ruby and Sapphire would have just come out.
4 Gastlys, 1 Absol, and a Clefairy.
Perfect.
To get that prep girl he likes. If Pokemon can have their own customizable entrance music in professional wrestling, would that be sick or what?
The answer to that, yes.
Yes.
I would want to. I want to have a wrestler come out to the champion theme from Pokemon Red and Blue, and I think that wrestler should be Xavier Woods if he ever does solo.
I'm all in with Ric Flair. Next question.
Xavier Woods is a noted Pokemon fan and was on a competing Pokemon podcast, and I want him to be on our podcast.
I want that a lot also.
Next.
If a Ditto stays transformed for more than 2 hours, does it permanently become the Pokemon it transformed to, a la Animorphs? I'm going to answer that question because Matt doesn't know what Animorphs is.
Not at all.
Okay, I'm not going to answer this question, but holy shit, wasn't the Tobias story like the saddest fucking story? Because like I feel like it wasn't actually sad because I haven't read it since I was like 10. But I'm pretty sure he was like looking through a girl's window while he was a hawk.
Rest in
peace. That's why he's stuck as a hawk. Yeah. Matt, does Transform work on Being John Malkovich rules where you can only stay transformed as another Pokemon for a limited amount of time?
I mean, yes, that's literally how it works.
That's literally how that move works.
I haven't seen Being John Malkovich either, amazingly.
How have you not? Okay,
I've seen nothing. Don't worry about it.
That's your homework. I'm going to watch Pokemon Generations. You're going to watch Being John Malkovich.
Got it.
Okay.
I want to save that next question for a future episode because I wanted to get into the first data point is something we skipped and moved to a different discussion.
Okay,
so,
that's fair. We can do Rupert discussion next episode too.
We will also do the Rupert discussion in the next episode. That is everything for this week, and I just want to close you guys with a couple of things. Hitmonchan may be a personification of boxing.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Bulbapedia.
Today there are over 9,000 formally named and recognized Pokemon ships, but only a vague 5% are actually used in common and regular practice.
Jesus Christ.
Over 9,000.
This has been Elite Full Restore. I'm Aury.
I'm Matt.
Kiss your dad square on the lips.
Due to DS cartridges being black, Pokemon Black is technically the first Pokemon game since Emerald to have its cartridge match the color of the game. We'll see you all after the game is out. And we're out.